working tirelessly in defense of Reverend Pinkney. And is she here?
Marcina?
Marcina, could you please come up? Let's have a warm welcome for Sister Marcina Cole. And she's a retiree as well from the private sector, not the public sector. Right.
We talked about that.
Another racist entity here in this area. Let's have a warm welcome for Sister Marcina Cole.
Yay!
Hi.
I know it, girl.
Are you all ready to fight?
Yeah.
Looks like you are to me.
All right.
Hey, hands up, don't shoot, right? Because we know what's going down in Ferguson right now. Waiting on that grand jury decision. They got the National Guard out there waiting on us to do bodily harm to us. So we're going to be ready. We're going to continue to fight against the massive corporations, the super rich, right-wingers, so-called progressive Democrats. We're ready for these folks that look down at us. We the people don't have the money like the rich folks have.
Right.
They've taken over this country.
Trying.
Oh yes. Electoral college, they're going to change that so they can win all the time. We need a third party system, not a two-party. How about that? Because they have failed us. I believe in democracy, but apparently they don't. So we're here tonight to align ourselves with a great leader, community activist, Reverend Pinkney, not just Benton Harbor, but all over this country. Some folks don't want to get involved. He's known all over the world.
Until they get in trouble.
Yes, but we here tonight because we do want to get involved, but we're not going to stop fighting.
That's right.
Am I right?
That's right.
So we got to fight the militarization, what's going on in Ferguson, what's going on in Detroit, New York, all over this country, and across the world. It's not just Reverend Pinkney. He's just the face of many.
Yes.
And militarization has been going on for a long time, just in case you all didn't know that. But so we're not going to deal with this billions of dollars from the federal government arming these police officers, killing our babies out here. We cannot be desensitized about what's going on. We can't wake up tomorrow and say, okay, another day, and go on to the next party. No. It's about continue to fight and remember that your brothers and sisters was gunned down for no reason at all. And so we cannot take it anymore. In Benton Harbor, people were intimidated by the police officers because they signed a recall petition. I thought that was their constitutional right. Am I right?
That's right.
This man was found guilty with no evidence.
That's right.
And we should not take this laying down. Because if he denied his rights, he denied mine too. Denying yours too. So nevertheless, he's got an uphill battle. We're not going to give up. And we're here to commend this brother here that no matter what they do in Barron County and elsewhere, you know you're doing the right thing. You're for the people. I'm for you, I love you, and I love your wife and your family. I love everybody that's here. So we don't want to forget anybody that's in part of the struggle. And I just want to add Rosmia, she was in federal court. They transferred from Chicago to Detroit. She's fighting for her life too. She's fighting for her people too. She's Palestinian. Oh yeah. Don't listen to the mass media that's saying she's a terrorist. She's not a terrorist. They want to pull back in 1969, 45 years ago, that she didn't put something on her immigration papers. So they want to charge this lady because she's for her people. She's for the Arab women. She organized. There's an outright attack against activists all over this country. And we need to align ourselves with people that's non-white, not just black folks, but anybody that's part of the struggle to make a change in this country and across the world. On this note, I want to bring the eminent, dynamic evangelist, Reverend Edward Pinkney. It's going down. It's going down. It's going all the way down. And we're going to win. That's right. We are going to win.
That's right.
And listen, all through history, you have never received anything
You got it.
without a struggle. If you can't take it, you won't get it.
That's right.
And this is what they are afraid of. You see, this whole thing is political, you know. They're trying to show me that they can neutralize me
No way.
with no evidence. But I'm here to say today that I am proud of the people that lived in Benton Harbor.
All right.
They stood up.
Yes,
They stood up. They stood up and said, we're not going to let you bully us. This is what it's all about. You know, the last time I was here, I was telling you all about how the SWAT team came to my home and surrounded my home. And they called martial law. They wouldn't let nobody in. They wouldn't let nobody out. If you was in your house, you had to stay. If you was out of your house, you had to stay. You could not go inside your house. All because of me. I am proud to say that I'm able to make them call martial law.
All right.
And here's the thing. That whole day, they drove all over the city looking for me. They had their big trucks. They had their tanks, their full 35 to 40 armed law enforcement agents. Here I am, I stand a nick over 5'7", and they had to go and bring out their heavy artillery for a nice guy like me. Amazing. I call it amazing grace. But one thing I will say, we have to change the way we do business.
That's right.
You see, they say that we're like quarter horses. We can only run a quarter of a mile. We're the busiest people there in the whole wide world. We're not busting a grape. They're doing things to us that we should be doing to them.
Absolutely.
It's more of us than them. How do we let so few control so many?
That's right. Say that.
We sit around here and think that everything is going to be all right.
No way.
It's not going to be all right unless you make it all right. If you can't make it all right, it won't be all right. And see, and here's the thing. It's not really about you.
That's right.
See, this is what we get confused. We think it's all about us. It ain't about us.
Amen.
You know? It's about the future. And that's what they're trying to control.
Yeah.
Here, a nice guy like me.
Like you.
And I was pretty much minding my own business, just doing a simple recall of the mayor.
Simple. That's a simple recall.
Basic, you know, just going out getting a few signatures. That's all.
That's all.
That's all I was doing, just trying to change the government around just a little bit. And you know, I ran into this guy. He's a puppet. But this guy, I'm going to tell you something about this guy. This guy, he told us. He warned us. He said, you know I'm a puppet. And he said, you know I'm going to use all my resources. Whirlpool. I'm going to use the prosecutor office.
Wow.
I'm going to use the sheriff department.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the clerk's office. And we going to stop you.
I'm a sellout.
He said, you know. He told me, he said, you know I'm a puppet.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to show you.
Yeah.
So here we are. A nice guy like me.
Like you.
Only in America.
Only in America.
Only in America. All these corporations, they have these puppets.
Yep. Got
So
some
here I am, going to court. Now listen to this. This is important because I go to court on June 5th. And they call it a preliminary examination.
Okay.
So the prosecutor has to produce all his evidence. Well, he don't have to produce all of it, just what he got. So we sitting there waiting for the prosecutor to produce his evidence. We left there waiting for the prosecutor to produce his evidence. In other words, he had none.
Only thing they said that Reverend Pinkney had to do it. Nobody else would stand up to us. So he had to do it. Out of all the people that lived in Benton Harbor, Reverend Pinkney had to do it. Nobody else could have done this, they said. It's not even possible for somebody else to do this. They didn't have not one piece of evidence that said Reverend Pinkney did anything. That's right. It's amazing what goes on. But we allow it. We allow it. If we allow things like this to happen, it's going to continue. We have to learn to stand up and fight. Because if we don't fight now, we're all going to be behind them barbed wire fences. Right. So you need to make up your mind. You know, we have to do it whether we like it or not. That's right. We have to stand tall and say no more. Stand up now. That's right. No more. We had enough of you. No more. And that's what we have to say. You see, the trial started on my birthday. Yeah. And I do want to say this. A lot of people didn't bring me birthday presents. I was a little disappointed. Even though I was in court, having a great day. The prosecutor put on 8 witnesses. And returned those 8 witnesses into our witnesses. Yeah. It was a bad day for the prosecutor. People stood up like never before. They said, you came to my house and tried to get me to say something that was not true.
And they did. They tried. All right.
They went out kicking people's doors in over a recall petition. Wow. They was going to the front and the back door, 3 deep, peeping in people's windows, all for a recall petition.
They had that mobile thing out there.
They had everything they needed to scare the people. See, when you mention the police, most people get afraid. Yeah. You know, you be driving and they put the light on you in the back, you be saying, what did I do? You start searching your pants, make sure you ain't got nothing in there unusual. But they did this to these people. But these people stood tall. Not one of them, not one person told them other than something that was the truth. And they was trying to scare them into saying something that wasn't true. They came to their home, they went to their jobs, they did everything they could to intimidate these people. That was a bad day for the prosecutor. And a victory for us. The next day was worse for him. They put on over 30 people. And they tried to get them to say that they did not sign that petition on the date that was on the petition. Every last one of them told them, that's the day I signed it. One lady came in and said, even before she knew that the forensic guy, somebody was going to come in and say you used 2 different inks or something like that, she told the police when they came to her house that I changed the date and I used 2 different pens. She didn't even know that that was going to be an issue. They got mad at her. And she was a commissioner and wanted to call her a liar. You see, that's what they tried to do. But more than 30 people told them that they signed that petition on the day that it was. They had their forensics guy. That was a bad day for them. A real bad day. Victory for the people. The 3rd day, the forensics guy came in. Their star witness. Big news. Forensics coming in. Wow. He's gonna put the nail in Pinkney's coffin. That was the message that they was delivering to people. He comes in. He tells everybody that 2 inks was used, 2 different pens. Okay. And so they said, well, if 2 different pens was used, can you tell us when it was done? He said, no. Can you tell us who did it? He said, no. He said, can you say Reverend Pinkney did it? He said, no. Then we said, why are you here? You're worthless. You know, and he was worthless. We turned their star witness into our witness. They had nothing. Thursday was strictly a victory for the people. That's when we took the stand. 3 people said they witnessed other people changing the own people, you change your own thing.
Yeah.
You change your own thing.
Right. And so we all make mistakes.
Right.
So they said they witnessed this and they went around, well, it's impossible. They didn't do it. It had to be Pinkney. I'm taking the stand. I'm telling them, you know, my side of the story. He had a dummy. Something, I don't know where they got it from. We don't even know where they got it from. They came up with something. Judge let it come in as evidence, knowing that he can't. It's going to kill him on appeal because we don't know. Nobody knows where this thing came from. It looked like somebody had whited out one side of it, and they gave it to the news media. The news media flashed on TV, and they said Pinkney did it. So that's the only thing that came out of this. So they asked me. He said, the prosecutor said, "Do this refresh your memory?" And I said, "No." And when I said no, it broke his heart because he said, he just left. He just couldn't take no more. So it was a major victory for the people that day. Friday, the prosecutor gives the closing arguments. And he tells the jury, he said, well, we don't have any evidence that said Pinkney did anything.
Right.
But you can still find him guilty, can't you? He's nodding his head like this. You know how he's nodding, get everybody nodding their head. And nodding their, and then I guess he said that's the signal. He just nodded. He was nodding his head. We had to tell him, hold on, you know, it's time to move on, ain't it? You can't nod your head, you're going to have a cramp in your neck. But anyway, he was telling them that you can find Pinkney guilty with no evidence. Basically, he was saying that, because he said that here where he said Pinkney had to do it. He's the only one in this city that'll stand up to us. He said he's the only one that's not intimidated by us.
Okay.
We sent the SWAT team to his house.
All right.
He came to visit us the very next day after he got out of jail. It was amazing. It was amazing. But Pinkney had to do it. Nobody else could do it in the whole wide world. But Pinkney. So we're going to send Pinkney to jail. So here we are now. I'm excited because I know this jury, unfortunately, was all white. Have you ever been to Benton Harbor? Do you know that they still burning crosses in Benton Harbor? Do you know that they still hanging nooses in the workplace in Benton Harbor? Yeah, that's what springs me into action. Anytime they burn a cross or hang a noose, they're going to see my face. And that's what they don't like.
Right.
But anyway, these 12 jurors, I guess they were shocked that they didn't have any evidence. So they came back the first day. I guess, you know, they wanted free lunch. You get free lunch. So they got free lunch the first day. So they wanted free lunch the second day also. So they came back. I'm pretty sure they already made their mind up that Pinkney had to do it. Ain't nobody in Benton Harbor gonna be able to do this.
Right.
So we sitting back waiting. They comes out and they ask a question which didn't make no sense, but they asked the question anyway. So they gave them the answer and they said, all right, well it's almost lunchtime. Lunchtime is over, so we need to go out there and give them our verdict.
Okay.
They come out. And the foreman stands up. You should have saw her. She had her chest all stuck out. She really thought she was really doing something. You know, she had a count one. Felony forgery. Guilty. You know, like she was really saying something. Guilty. You know, count two. Felony forgery. Guilty. Count three, guilty. Count four, guilty. Count five, guilty. I grabbed my arm. No. She gotta be kidding. Read the real verdict. Read the real verdict. I know it's a joke. But unfortunately, it wasn't a joke. It's what they do. 5 counts of forgery. My concern is that we're going to have a real fight on the 15th. I am not going down without a fight.
Amen.
I'm going to be biting. I'm going to be kicking. I might even be swinging. But I am not going down without a fight. They have done what they do, and they do it religiously, and nobody say anything. They have met their match. We have some good stuff. I'm a little concerned about my lawyer at this time. There's a lot of things that we should be able to do to help neutralize them. It's a fight, but it's not about Reverend Pinkney. It's about the people.
That's right.
I'm so proud of the people that live in Benton Harbor who actually took a stand. They refused to be intimidated by these people. They stood tall. They tried to do everything they could to intimidate these people. They had them sitting out in the lobby 5-6 hours. They sent them home. Then they had to come back the next day. And they came back the next day so they can tell them the truth. They can't handle the truth. The truth is something that we have to get into. Telling, especially people of color. Because the attack on the people of color is so tremendous. And we usually don't do nothing. See, here's the thing. We can't wait until something happens and want to fight. That's what we do. We wait until something happens, then we get mad and want to fight. That's right. Then you got to fight and be prepared to go to battle now. When you talk about the emergency manager in Benton Harbor, the emergency manager in Detroit, we got to be ready to do what needs to be done. And some of the people that look like us need to be ran over too. We can't look. My thing is this. Reverend Pinkney will not take any prisoners because you got to feed them.
That's right.
And here, to me, the most important thing, and when it comes to the wounded, I won't carry the wounded. That means I got to shoot them. So we got to make sure that we're doing the things that need to be done. We're here. See, here's the thing. It's more of us than them. When are we going to get that through our thick heads? How could we be begging them for something? They should be coming to us and asking us. And here's the thing, too. We got to learn to keep our money in our pockets. Come on. You know, when you talk about these banks, what these banks have done to us is criminal. Nobody says anything about these darn banks. It's time that we move this thing to a different level. And whatever it takes to get the job done, we need to do it. We don't need to sit here and wait for somebody to, wait until something happens. Wait until something happens in Ferguson, Missouri. We need to be on our feet right now, challenging these people, saying no more. We have had enough. Enough is enough. Can you hear me? Enough is enough. Is enough enough? Is enough enough? You gotta learn to say fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. This is something that we got to do. We can't sit here and wait no longer. We got to take this thing to a whole different level.
Come on.
Any time that you take a stand, they will attempt to crush you. You see, anytime that you have a system that will not feed, clothe, and house, it must be. It's got to be overturned. So we can do these things. This is an attack on democracy. That's what it is. It's all over the country. And the bad part about it, we are not fighting this fight. That's the shameful part of this. Shameful. You know, we are the busiest people there is in the world. Every time you talk to the people, they always got something to do. Oh, I got to go over here now. I got to go do this now. And right now they're putting the rope around your neck. You don't even know they got the rope around your neck. And they're pulling that rope. It's time that we change. But here I'm going to close real fast, and I want to tell everybody that we got work to do. Work that we can do. We can accomplish this if we learn to work together. There's no big I's and little U's. We're all in this together. And if we learn to fight together, we'll win together. See, winning is not everything.
Come on.
It's the only thing. That's what we need to do. That's right. That's right. Winning is not everything. It is the only thing. And we have to learn to do that. When we learn to do that, we can take this thing to a whole different level. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. Let's say this together. Enough is enough. 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 All right. Anybody have any questions? You know I do. Me. All right, Tawana.